at Benedetto Guitars. They're fantastic. You'll hear him talk about all the new stuff happening in the shop, and we're fixing that audio problem. I think we might have had one just a moment ago. I got a note about that. And of course, Speak Friends Cables, Mr. Jeffrey Ding. If you're looking for Mogami wire that is half the price with nitric ends, talk to Mr. Jeffrey Ding at Speak Friends Cables. And there will be a promo code for those in the link in the description when we post this out on YouTube. So check that out as well. And of course, Monday you saw Mr. Peter Hendrickson, and he talked everything good in amplifiers, and that is HendricksonAmplifiers.com. And of course, they are shipping that new head, which you see over my shoulder. The Custom 12 is on order, and the Custom 10 is in production. And Pete's going to talk everything he can about those amps. The other thing that's good, if you are a player, I do believe they're offering a 15% discount if you purchase something off their website. So that's all good, and that's how that goes. So, but without further ado, I got to bring my man in, Mr. Barry Green. Now, if you haven't checked Mr. Green out, you're going to have to do that later on. So without further ado, Barry, what's up, brother?
Doing good, Bruce. How about you?
Oh man, always trying to do some good, Give you some love, man. Give you some love.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So tell me, man, you have
love.
Virtual love, brother. Virtual love. Social distancing, right?
Right.
So, man, I've been following you for a while, but you have like a million things going on, right? So tell me, what's your main thing? What do you do as a player, as a teacher? What's the thing that's your core right now?
It would be the professorship at UNF. I've been there 25 years now, and part of the jazz program, and got some real luminaries there too. Danny Gottlieb from Pat Metheny's band, the original Pat Metheny band, and Lynn Ariel on piano, who's just beautiful.
Wow.
Dennis Marks on bass.
Wow.
Played with Arturo Sandoval for the longest time. And an incredible saxophone player by the name of Todd Del Judas. So there's a really extraordinary faculty, and a lot of good camaraderie and good feelings going on there. But that's definitely my core. I mean, like I said, it's 25 years. I'm already starting to think about, okay, when am I going to say goodbye? It's a long time.
Yeah, man.
But,
yeah.
It's been very good. I feel like one of the very fortunate ones, having a job like that, especially now, with all this going on.
Yeah. Yeah, and so obviously you guys are shut down with everything that's happening.
No, and we're teaching. We're just doing like this.
Yep.
It's just using Zoom software. But it's a couple of classes I have are technology based. About software, like things like Pro Tools, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's a class of 15 to 20 people, and I'm just looking at a computer screen and not getting really we're looking at each other, which is great.
Yeah.
But with those kids, I'm looking at my Pro Tools screen or my Ableton Live screen, and so I'm not getting any kind of feedback. So it's a big challenge, but we're carrying on.
Yeah.
Trying to teach.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's funny because Wednesday nights up in Connecticut, in Hartford, I do a jam at a place called the Half Door. Small place. They've been doing jazz for years. And when Jackie McLean was the chair at University of Hartford, used to play jazz there, and you'd see guys float in and out, and it was a cool place, and it was kind of like our Bradley's, of New York City.
Right. Yeah, I remember that was a great spot.
Great spot, and so, but we get a lot of University of Hartford kids in, and we played our last gig there. It was every Wednesday, and I'm assuming it's going to be every Wednesday. I got a couple cats who are students there that that's kind of their gig, kind of handed it over to them. And I think it was the Wednesday before St. Patrick's Day, and we were looking around going, man, things aren't looking that great. And but they were pretty much, the place was packed with students, but they basically looked at me and said, they're just shutting the whole school down. So they just sent everybody home, and that was it.
Yeah. I know. It was like that all over the country. I remember the last week before this all really hit the fan, talking to my students saying, look, I think it's very realistic to think that we're not going to see each other again, that this is going to be the last time. And I remember one of the students going, is it really that bad? I said, yeah, man, just turn on not the TV, but look at it on the internet.
Yeah.
I got a feeling this is it. And it was, to nobody else, nobody's surprise, obviously. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's incredible. I know and this is not what this is about right now, but it just blows my mind how quickly it all of a sudden we're in this thing here.
Yeah.
And everybody's adapting as best as they can. And seeing all these guitar players online, doing live gigs and trying to get money. I mean, it's incredible what's happening. And I
Yeah.
think that some of this stuff is going to stick.
Yeah.
For better or worse, but yeah.
Yeah, I think we're looking for, a change, because you not only teach, but you gig too, you play, right? And
Yeah.
and so, I mean, I was telling some of the cats, I mean, I have a lot of restaurant gigs I do up in the city and in through Connecticut, and I'm just, as I said to my wife, I don't really think that some of these places are even going to come back. I just think they're just going to say that's it. And some places have already closed up anyway. That's it. They're not coming back. So it's definitely going to change. And maybe the virtual thing will help a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of.
I don't know either, man. I mean,
it's
it's frustrating because obviously the whole part of being a musician is the interaction between you and your fellow player. That's gone. Even though it's 2020, the internet's not ready for that yet.
No,
it's not ready for that.
No.
Even the Skype lessons are challenging because of that. Because you have no way to play with the person and really gauge things to me that are the most important, which is sound, time, feel. I mean, you and I could spit out theory all day long, but it's the other stuff the intangibles that are so hard to teach somebody. And virtually, I think virtually, pardon the pun, impossible to do like this. So unfortunately, it caught us with our pants down a little bit. We're still not quite there. I think the day will come, but not now.
Yeah, maybe. But so now the teaching gig at the university, that's not the only thing. You got the Barry Green video site too. So tell me a little bit about that.
I mean, something that I'm super proud of, that I started from the ground up a long time ago. I will tell you that, I'm trying to think how long ago, this has to be at least 12 to 15 years ago, but I had Jimmy Bruno as a guest over at UNF. We were just hanging out. And at that time, he had started that kind of online school. I forgot what he called it, like the Institute or something like that. Or
the Jimmy Bruno Institute. I know Jimmy. Yeah. He's going to actually be a guest on the show. I was talking to him on the phone the other day. Typical Jimmy,
Yeah, I mean, he'll keep your audience entertained, that's for sure. Oh. But I mean, when he was telling me what he was doing, it definitely sparked a little bit of a thing in my head, thinking, wait a minute, he can't be the only one who could manage something like this. And then I did a podcast when we were calling them, not podcasts, what did we call them back then? Anyway, Apple had a different name for them, but I put something up on YouTube, just a blues thing, talking about the tritone substitution or whatever it may be. It was a short little thing.
Yeah.
And I got so much positive feedback just from that one video. I remember that thinking, wait a minute, there's something here,
Right.
And that's when I started. So it's probably a little over 10 years now. And I've had I know that you're on the VHX site too.
Yeah.
But there's different iterations of there's other companies will come and go. And the one that we're both on right now, I think, is the best by far, but as far as I know.
Yeah.
Before that, so it's been a lot of trial and error, trying things out and moving from one side to the other. And the hardest thing, of course, is moving an entire library with you.
Yep.
When you have like over hundreds of videos and thousands of pages of PDF material. And so I'm going to stick with these guys for a while, but they've been really good, and I'm sure and their customer service thing is great. And but that's it. So I've met a tremendous amount of people from all over the world through this, and then been invited to, I've been all over Europe because of that, just because of the presence on the internet. So, Germany and France and Spain and Italy, all over the place.
Fantastic.
So it's been really good. I didn't see that coming, but it's been really, really good, and it's opened up some other things I didn't didn't see coming, because even the level of guitar student at UNF has risen, because everybody who comes in, first thing they say, it's such a pleasure to meet you. I love your videos. And so it's been a built-in recruitment system too, which is fantastic.
Right.
So it's like I said, it's great. I'm super proud of it, and I'm gonna keep on going as long as I can.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So do you have plans for what's the next step? Are you thinking of something like bigger than that VHX site, or something like an online school, or have you given that any thought?
I don't think so, but I do get a lot of feedback, both good and bad, from people, and so I listen to that pretty sincerely. And so the latest thing I've been doing is supplying these backing tracks, which I put a significant amount of time into now. Creating like the one I did on Spain, for instance. I really orchestrated the whole thing with strings and flutes and all kinds of instrumentation to make some really nice. And it's something that I always have been doing. I've been into computers and music since the '80s, but whenever I was doing the lessons, I
Yep.
would just kind of do a quick little comping thing for myself, just so
Yep.
people could hear the sound of lines against harmony.
Yep.
And then I would get the same email every time. Hey, could I get that backing track? And I thought no, because it's just crap. I didn't put any time into it at all. I thought it was horrible.
Yeah.
It just served its purpose.
Yeah.
But it became such a big thing. So, but that's been the most recent thing. Like I said, I just listen to what people have to say. I would love to be able to expand and be able to do something like not necessarily what you're doing right now, like almost like an interview kind of a thing,
Yep.
but just be able to interact with people a little more socially rather than just through emails and things like that.
Right.
We're seeing each other, but that requires so much time. And like you said in the beginning, I've got so much going on. Not to mention you said you're married.
Yep.
I've got kids. There's so much going on. It's only so far you can stretch yourself.
It
so
is.
when people say, "Hey, I'd like to do could you give me some video response?" I said, "No, I cannot. I have to eat and
man,
exercise." So
And man, to that point, because I told people earlier in the week and have been plugging, like I belong to your site as well, and I benefit from the content you have out there. And you are as busy as you are pretty responsive as well back to people, because you pretty much respond every time someone responds. At least my emails you respond to, and that kind of thing. And to the point, your quality is really high. So it's like I encourage people to check out BarryGreenVideoLessons.com, or it's .vhx.tv, right?
Yeah, but if you just go to barrygreen.com, which is my website,
It posts
the direct link there.
It drinks,
and
yeah.
as long as we're talking about it, I made a discount code for anybody who's interested, who's watching this now. The code is Bruce50.
Okay.
It's 50% off, 50% off of 2 months.
Oh.
So you know how this works. So
Yep.
if they sign up,
Yep.
there's no commitment. You can get out of it anytime you
Yep.
like. It's no kind of. It's one thing I dislike about the whole process is that people are always kind of skeptical about, hey, is somebody going to take advantage of me? But it's how it works. Is you're on the same site.
Yeah.
So, but if you want to, like I said, 2 months for 50% off, you should definitely check it out.
Fantastic. What I'll do is I'll get that code and I'll post it in the link in the description when the show gets posted.
Thanks.
And folks can go and check that out. And we got a lot of people who will come and look at it afterwards. I got a cat in Arizona that was a Boston person. Tommy Ferdon, do you know that name when you were up at Boston? Yeah. I think he might have been there at the time you were at Berkeley, or maybe in that time period. I don't know how long you were there, but like late 70s, early 80s maybe. And
that's when I was there.
Yeah, but he's a guy that moved from the East Coast, and his wife got a job in New Mexico area, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they moved, and he was like, "Yeah, man, with all this going on, I'm going there." And but he's teaching tonight online, and he can't. Usually he's here for the program, and that's
okay.
So.
Okay.
But the other thing that I've done is I've done lessons for students, and I've just basically private them not on Facebook, but on YouTube, and the quality is much cleaner that way. It's not direct, but I can record something a little bit more personal and send it, and then they only have the link. So that's another option that I've used. And I like that one because no one's in the general public's going to see it, and it's not Skype, which is not all that great sometimes. Particularly if you.
I totally get it. I've thought about some of the things. It's like, I literally do not have the time. I just don't.
Yeah.
Even something that's as simple as you're saying right now.
Yeah. Right.
Just don't. So. If I'm going to keep on churning out material, I can't. It's a one-man operation, like yours probably is too. I'm doing everything, and it's a lot.
You need an assistant, man. That's
I do.
Like Al Di Meola. When I saw Al Di Meola, he's got the cat that plays guitar with him. That's like his protege. And there's a guy up here on the Northeast at Upscale Music, and so this guy Mario Souza, and he tells me the story of he gets this call one day, and Di Meola was playing in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and he needed some kind of Y cable or MIDI cable for his floorboard or something. So they call up Mario and they get the cable. He's like, I don't know who it was, but it looked like a guy that might have played guitar. They came and picked it up. So I'm thinking, that's the protege that's going to get that thing, but
That's what I need.
you
Well, my
know,
sons are almost old enough to take that job over, so we'll see. We'll see.
administrative assistant to very
Yeah,
basic.
something like
There
that.
you
Something
go.
like that.
So tell me about the gig scene. I mean, man, like, because we're running a little bit out of time, but before you
Okay.
go, I want to just tell me where you're playing, some things that are happening. I know we're shut down right now, but are there
Yeah.
some
I've
things
got
that?
no. Anything that I have has been canceled. I was going to go to. I was supposed to go to New York in. I can't remember the month now. So yeah, it was would have been March.
Okay,
Um, so I'm just waiting now for things to end. But typically, I make at least one journey up to New York to do the bar next door,
okay,
and then I'll do on that same weekend Deer Head Inn up to Delaware Water Gap.
okay.
Beautiful, beautiful room.
Yep,
And then the stuff here, and then like I said, the occasional thing. Like I was even talking just before this stuff happened, another trip to Italy, but everything is just
everything's
on
shut
hold.
down.
And
Yeah,
there's no, I mean, there's gigs here in Jacksonville, but I'd rather see my students, the 20-year-olds
yeah,
out there playing rather than me.
yeah,
And and as you probably have experienced, even the way you described it, playing in a restaurant when you're 2 feet away from a table,
yeah,
who can care less if you're even there or not.
yeah. And right, there's that.
Those days for me are gone. So I'm very, very choosy about all that stuff.
Man,
So
I'm telling you, it's a grind
it
sometimes.
is. Hey, look, I've been there. I turned 59 this year.
Wow,
Been
man,
playing professionally for a long time. I
long
think I've seen
time.
just everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing I love about the bar next door, especially if you're working with Peter Mazza. Do you know
Yeah.
Peter, the
Yes,
guitar
I
player?
do. Yes.
But he has this whole opening he does. It's at least a 60-second thing where he talks to the entire audience about just how to be a decent listener in this room.
Yeah.
So they really frown on people talking, and I've been there, and the not the last time, but the time before that, Russell Malone was like sitting at the very front table, and it's not like it's not like a theater or something. The table was a foot away.
Right.
I could have put my music on his
Right.
table and read. That's how. So you can't. Those kind of experiences for me are the best, and it's worth making the trip up to, New Jersey, New York, because
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as I get on the plane, I'm already losing money because those gigs pay nothing. But for that experience, man,
Yeah.
I've seen so many great guitar players have been in there and
Oh
just
yeah.
walked in and just freaked me out.
Yeah,
So
man. It's
yeah,
like I said, I was talking to Bruno on last Friday, and I'd sent him an email about coming on this show, and in typical Jimmy fashion, he sends me back a reply that says not interested in that. And
oh wow,
and I said, well, can I I know Jimmy, so I was like, can I convince you? And he said call me at 11. I'm transcribing something, or I'm putting together an arrangement or something like that. So I call him, and he says, he goes, yeah, and we're starting to talk. And so about first 15 minutes, it's just all talking about this guy and that guy, and this experience and that experience. And then he goes, tell me something about this program. And I said, well, it's just kind of like it's an interview style, and some people like to come on and play, but it's Skype and it's not really that great quality. He goes, yeah. I want to do that. But then he went on to say, he was like, it's a real pisser playing jazz these days, because you're playing for $50 and they're busting your balls about this and about that. And I'm like, yeah, man. He goes, I don't know why anybody'd want to get into this business, but Jimmy
no,
was,
I know Jimmy well. I mean, and the stuff and I'd expect that and worse,
yeah.
from him.
Oh well, it
But
was worse, but I'm trying to keep it G here,
right, but yeah,
you know.
but yeah, the thing is, it was like that before this,
Oh yeah.
and it's going to be like that afterwards.
It,
And the thing is, even though I'm trying to put like a silver lining on it, but what he's saying is that, if you're into this, to playing jazz music for the money, just stop immediately. And it's
yeah.
got to be for your soul lifting experience that
That's
it
right.
is.
That's
Be
right.
ready to sacrifice a lot of stuff. If good fortune comes your way, great. And that's what I was saying earlier. That be open. I guess I'm being a teacher here right now, but just be open to any kind of prospect that comes your way, whether it's teaching, transcribing, playing on somebody's record, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Just get out there and do everything, because you just never know who that person will be that
Right.
will open a door for you, and bam, you're actually doing what you love and making some money doing it.
Right.
And
Right.
nothing better than that.
Good advice, man. So we are gonna drop off, but Benedetto
All right.
guitars, you got those under your belt, right? So you're working with them a little bit, and
Yeah.
Tomastic strings. as well,
Yeah.
right? And
Yep.
and anyone else are you working with directly that we should know about?
No, no. But those are two good ones.
Yeah, two good ones. Yeah,
Those are two good
yeah.
ones
And we're
for
gonna have
sure.
Jackson on the show on Monday, and he's gonna tell us
Yeah.
everything about
Tell him I
Benedetto.
said hi. I've known
Yeah,
Jackson for a long time. When he was really young, I used to give him guitar lessons. So make sure you tell him I said hi. And if you want the best Jimmy Bruno stories, get Howard Paul on the show. You know who Howard
yeah.
is.
I know how Howard is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but he's a great storyteller, and he's got some incredible good ones about Jimmy. So
He offline at some point. I'll tell you the one he told me about the guitar player and giant steps. That one was.
okay,
I think I think
okay.
that one had me rolling on the ground. He it took him about 10, 11 minutes to get it to the point where it was like it just went.
I know he's a great storyteller, man. I love listening to him tell
And
stories.
the funny part about it was, he was asking me about players, this guy and that guy. Do I know this guy? I know that guy. Have you seen this guy? And I said, the guy I haven't seen play in a while, and I mentioned a guitar player's name. He goes, oh, and then the story went. And so, but I'll relay that when it's more
Yeah, I get it.
humane to do that.
I get it.
So,
I get it.
but
Well,
listen,
thanks,
brother,
Bruce. I do appreciate it, man.
I do appreciate you coming on the show, folks. There is a promo code for Barry's website, and that's going to be in the link in the description post show. So please check him out. He definitely knows his stuff, and I would definitely say go out and check out his lessons and seek him out, as he's helped me out quite a bit. So, Barry, thanks again, man, and I will catch
My
you
pleasure.
again. Thanks, brother.
Okay, take care.
All right. So, Mr. Barry Green, that was fantastic. What a great show that was. And he definitely filled us in a lot about what's happening in the world of jazz, and particularly where he is from a different perspective of teaching and all that kind of stuff. Barry was, like he said, up at Berkeley, and then he's been fortunate enough to teach for all these years, down in Florida, and 25 years, and has a successful site that he spent a decade or more building, and all the wealth of information and just expanding and expanding and expanding. So I encourage you to check him out and check out his website and all that is good there. How we doing on time? I'm thinking I probably should stop talking and play a tune, because I know you might all be interested in that. Maybe not. But Yeah. The tune is Tune Up by Miles Davis, 1951. Such a great tune, and nothing like that tune, really, as far as I can see and far as I know. I'm going to play another tune for you since we do have some friends still on the line, and we do have a little bit of time. Yeah, the tune Full House by Wes Montgomery, written in about 1962, I do believe. Fantastic tune off the album Full House, which was a live recording, and a famous L5 on the cover of that album. And there is a gentleman in, I believe, Denmark who who I'm told thinks that they found that particular guitar. It disappeared. Wes was an L5 player for most of his career, and had a custom Gibson L5 made for him with his name engraved and one pickup, and that was the guitar he ended up using. But the guitar on that cover was one that he used and seemingly disappeared, like they kind of tend to do. So, we think that we found it, but kind of interesting. Good to see you, Joe. Happy to see you, brother. Cynthia's out there. Ken, man, my man. Good to see you. Jake, what's up, brother? Thanks, brother. Good to see you. And we have to once again thank Barry Green for being on the show today. Guitarist extraordinaire from Florida. If you have not checked out Barry Green, it is barrygreen.com or barrygreen.vhx.tv. And I'm told that if you sign up with him, you're getting 50% off a couple of months of lessons, which I have to tell you is a value and a deal all in one. And so definitely worth checking out Barry's site. And many, many thanks to him coming on the show. On Monday's show, we have Jackson Evans from Benedetto Guitars. So if you're a guitar player, come and check out Jackson, and he will tell you everything that's good in the land of guitars from Benedetto. But for now, I'm out, and peace around everybody, man. I appreciate you all and the love and the support you've been throwing me, the emails and the texts and the messages and all that stuff and the likes. I do appreciate it all for you all coming out. But I will see you tomorrow. Interview less day, so you get me the whole time, but probably a lot more playing and like that. So I will see you tomorrow. Peace. Bruce Gregori, video on demand. www.brucegregori.vhx.tv